Alright, I wanted to show you guys this projection TV that was going to be put in a landfill, and wanted to show you guys what you could do with this. Well, first off, you can take this screen out, and when you take the screen out, this is a protective layer here, which is good. This one had a big scratch in it. But underneath that, this is the lens. And I can make a wood frame for this, and I can channel sunlight through this lens to make a focal point so hot it can burn through wood like a laser. It can boil water and everything like that. So this, I could use for all sorts of things. So that lens right there, that's pretty cool. But the back of this just popped off by taking 6 screws out, so no big deal there. The next thing that I noticed, if you can come in here, we've got these things we're holding in the lens, and shoot, I could use those for some sort of weather stripping. Also, I don't know what this could be used for, but you've got some speakers here, and these just unsnap. So there you go. It's a pretty decent quality speaker, I'd imagine. Got 2 of those. I took this one apart here, and this lens, would work like a magnifying glass, and then these 2 together works kind of like a microscope. That's pretty interesting. They could be used for something. It's probably pretty decent optics, I would imagine. There's a mirror, 2 speakers, my lens, 3 little magnifying glass parts, because we got 3 of them. They might all have a different color tint too. That's kind of interesting. In this panel, these are filled with some weird fluid, so I imagine there's some caution, some hazardous materials probably in here. I really don't know. But then I see a bunch of spools of copper wire down in there. So the last place this belongs is in a landfill. Alright, we're a little farther into this teardown here, and this is plastic. I thought it would be glass, but this can be used like a fisheye lens. When you look in here, I mean, besides the speakers and other lenses that I got, pieces of metal like this I could use to make brackets and all sorts of things. But there's tons of resistors and capacitors and fuses and different things in here. And if you look at these, they have different colored stripes. And those different colored stripes indicate the function and the resistance and things like that. And you can just solder these out of there. And if you learn about that stuff, you could probably build a couple radios off of what's in here. But don't be afraid to take a Sawzall and cut it down so that it's easy to get rid of when you're done taking anything you deem valuable out of there. But I just thought I'd show a little further down the road of tearing this thing apart. Last thing I'm going to show you, got some O-rings in here. There was a ton of screws, if you want to say those, but there's this interesting red lens. Also a green and yellow. Try not to touch this weird coolant for the cathode ray tubes. Some sort of ethylene glycol or something. But at any rate, man, I'm impressed by the amount of technology and waste in one TV. Alright, so if you take apart one of those projection TVs, let's just look at the lenses that were in there. And there were 3 of these, but if you break them apart, you get a stack of 4 lenses like this. Now, 2 of them are plastic. I'm not so interested in those, but 2 of them are nice glass lenses, and they actually make a pretty sharp focal point, especially with the sun. And so, those I want to keep, these 2 glass ones. Other than that, there's a few other plastic lenses, and then the 3 different colored lenses. I don't know, you could use these as gels for lights, or use port and starboard for a boat or something like that. This one's kind of like HAL 9000. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that. But at any rate, so you got some colored lenses there, and half a dozen nice glass lenses that work like magnifying glasses, and the rest are plastic. But that's worth scavenging out of those TVs. Alright, this is my Fresnel lens, spelled Fresnel. I guess you don't pronounce the S, but I put it in a wood frame, otherwise it's kind of bendy. And let's see what this thing can do. You could boil water, the purifying water with this. You could cook with it or start a fire. Getting the focal point just right is kind of the tricky part, especially when it's so bright it kind of blinds you. You wouldn't want to leave this laying around where it could start a fire. The really nice ones have a wood frame, so you don't have to hold it like I am. Alright, so you can see, started burning the wood, and you can tell that I didn't quite have it to a focal point perfectly, but I'll get that on a wood frame and it'll be a little easier to use. Let's try the other side of this lens. I can see we're having this mounted on some legs would help. You can see the board smoking. This side might be a little hotter. But there you go, the Fresnel lens.